Primal team of Groudon, Kyogre, Salamence, Ferrothorn, Bronzong, and Zapdos. As we do actually see Mario on the top of your screen. My apologies.
Yeah, let's see here. Steven's team is pretty interesting. Usually you see a Ferrothorn as the Steel type on Morioka teams typically. Aegislash, something that was very popular in both VGC 2014 and VGC 2015. This year, not so much. I haven't seen a ton of it. It definitely does not benefit from Groudon's existence.
Definitely.
It doesn't do a whole lot to Kyogre either. So definitely interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it matches up versus Double Primal. If it's carrying something like a Wide Guard, it can be good against both Primals. If it's not, well, I'm not too sure about how well Aegislash is going to perform.
So with this particular matchup here, Ryogre against Double Primal, it seems to me from what I played at regionals, Double Primal seems to have the advantage in this matchup. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Double Primal here does have a pretty good matchup. The thing is that the Rayquaza isn't overly excellent against either Primal. If it opts to Dragon Ascent the Kyogre, it's usually not going to KO. Going to drop its defenses, and then it's
Ice Beam.
susceptible to being KO'd by Ice Beam.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. So here Mario. Interesting that has the Zapdos, which is also something that we haven't seen a ton of this year. They did just release Static Zapdos, which could be something we could see here.
That would be quite the play there. As we do see Steven leading with that shiny Rayquaza and the Thundurus there against Mario's Bronzong and Groudon.
A pretty good lead here on both ends, I think. Groudon here in a good position, not very threatened by the Thundurus. Rayquaza Dragon Ascent is going to do a fair chunk, but it's definitely not going to be a one-hit KOing Groudon anytime soon. Might have to watch out for rogue water moves from the Rayquaza, perhaps. Bronzong here, not in a good spot though. It can be taunted by the Thundurus. Perhaps Rayquaza wants to fire off a sun-boosted overheat or something that too. So interesting positioning here. I think the Groudon's in a good spot. The Bronzong not so much. His goal in this match is likely to set up Trick Room, set up Gravity, and start going for Precipice Blades onto Steven's Thundurus and Rayquaza and things like that. Does quite a hefty chunk to both those Pokemon, but he'll definitely have some trouble setting up if this Thundurus does in fact carry Taunt.
Right. We do see Bronzong switching out, being threatened by both of Steven's Pokemon here. Kyogre coming in its place, gonna be able to possibly tank some Fire-type attacks here. Gonna opt to Primal here and bring in the Primordial Sea. Of course, being shut down by that airlock on the field right now. We do see Rayquaza actually opting to Mega Evolve here, going to be able to set up that Delta Stream instead of the Rain there. Going to be at the advantage of the Weather War here, possibly taking some of those Ice Beams from Kyogre. Overheat going into the Kyogre slot here, not going to do a whole lot of damage, and going to be lowering Rayquaza's special attack stat by 2 stages. Thunderbolt going into the Kyogre slot as well, trying to cover the potential switch in there. Stone Edge being weakened by the Delta Stream here, going to be going into Thundurus, still doing a decent chunk of damage. Going to be taking a Citrus Berry recovery also.
Yeah, very good turn there on Steven's end. Covered both the Bronzong staying in and it switching out into Kyogre. Mega Evolve in there was also very smart. He could have stayed regular Rayquaza and then overheated, but that didn't cover the Stone Edge or Rock Slide option from the Thundurus as well, or from the Groudon rather as well. Protecting Thundurus from being one-hit KO'd by that Stone Edge.
Right. So do you think maybe the better play would have been to Dragon Ascent that turn?
No, I think the overheat was fine option coverage. It covered the play of Groudon protecting and Bronzong just from setting up Trick Room in his face, because that likely could have been game over at that point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So it was definitely very good option coverage. Dropping special attack usually not the worst thing for Rayquaza, as in this position rather, it's not going to be firing off many more overheats.
Right. We do see the Bronzong actually coming back in for Mario's side here. Dragon Ascent going to be going into one of Mario's Pokemon. It looks to be the Groudon slot, actually. Going to be doing about 50% to that Groudon slot. Going to be lowering its defenses as well here. Thunderbolt going into the Bronzong slot, expecting the Kyogre to stay in there. So we do see the Stone Edge actually missing there also.
Yeah, unfortunate Stone Edge miss there. Would have put Thundurus into very low red HP. Mario has been playing from behind this whole game though, so a miss like that is going to put him just even farther behind.
Right.
He's not positioning himself very well to be able to take out the Rayquaza here.
Right.
It's a very smart lead from Steven's end. He's not super threatened by anything Mario can do. And the Thundurus helps to cover the Kyogre, which threatens Rayquaza. Rayquaza helps to weaken attacks from the Groudon, which are threatening Thundurus. Very good overall synergy there.
Right. So Bronzong coming back in here, will it be able to set up anything?
The Bronzong here, it might be able to. Steven could opt to taunt the Bronzong this turn. Overheat likely will not be doing enough damage at this point.
Right.
With it being at -2 special attack. The Groudon here is still sitting at a good amount of HP, but not threatening a whole lot. We have seen Stone Edge, but Stone Edge isn't going to KO the Thundurus.
Right.
Rayquaza is at -1 defense. It's still not going to do a ton of damage.
As we do actually see that taunt going into the Bronzong, not going to be able to set up any of its setup moves here. Dragon Ascent going into the Groudon slot. Not enough to pick up a knockout, but putting it in KO range of any one of his attacks there. Stone Edge, another miss from Groudon there. As we see Gyro Ball going into the Rayquaza slot. Not enough to pick up a knockout there, but wow. 2 turns of Stone Edge missing.
Yeah, 2 turns of Stone Edge missing there is very unfortunate. The 2 Stone Edge misses there likely would have KO'd the Thundurus. And now in the Gyro Ball not killing the Rayquaza at -2 defense is very disappointing from Mario's end there.
Right. I mean, you have the high speed of the Rayquaza plus the -2 defense. You would expect that to
do a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
Does not happen though. Not an ideal turn there for Mario. Hasn't really been an ideal game so far. Removing Thundurus is extremely important for freeing up Mario's Kyogre. And now his Groudon is in range for another Dragon Ascent or for a extreme speed too.
Yeah. We do actually see Groudon switching out, possibly predicting an extreme speed there. Kyogre coming into its place here. Gonna bring back the Primordial Sea, getting rid of the Delta Stream there. Rayquaza opting to actually protect this turn instead of going for an attack here. Thunderbolt going into the Bronzong slot, possibly expecting a switch there. Gyro Ball going into the Rayquaza Protect, and kind of a deadish turn. I don't know.
Yeah, it's sort of a dead turn. What Steven was predicting there with the Protect was for the Groudon to protect, and then the Gyro Ball to come into the Rayquaza slot. Probably not expecting Mario to willingly just give up one of his primals there.
Yeah.
But that's the play Mario opted for, and so he ends up in still a pretty poor position here. Dragon Ascent threatening a KO onto the Kyogre. A Dragon Ascent and Thunderbolt combo might be enough to actually KO the Bronzong as well.
Yeah, we do actually see Rayquaza switching back into his own Kyogre here. Going to go Primal as well. We're going to see if it's able to tank any hits for Steven here. We do see Mario also retreating his own Kyogre into what looks to be the Ferrothorn. Okay. Trying to tank some more hits on that side as well. Thunderbolt going into that slot, not going to do a whole lot of damage there, as we do see Gyro Ball going into the Kyogre slot, not doing a whole lot either. So,
critical hit, not the most relevant thing.
Right. It seems like another turn of kind of like positioning.
Yeah, Ferrothorn getting in here is very good. Ferrothorn's in a solid spot here. Thundurus not doing a whole lot of damage to either Pokemon.
Right.
Can throw out some taunts if it wants to fish for paralysis. It can do that. Kyogre here not in a good spot either. Very threatened by the Power Whip. If Steven wants to be able to KO Ferrothorn, he has to get in Rayquaza safely and be able to go for a overheat. So this isn't the best game from Mario's side, but it's definitely not over. There's still a lot of game left. Ferrothorn here being Mario's last is probably optimal.
Yeah.
Threatens the Kyogre, threatens the Rayquaza if it can catch it on a switch in with a Gyro Ball perhaps. So definitely not over yet.
Yeah, we do see actually no Pokemon have been knocked out yet.
Yeah, definitely.
9-minute mark.
Yeah, 9-minute mark, still 4-4. Good game so far from both players.
Yeah.
Stone Edge misses are unfortunate, but definitely that's the risk that you run running 80% accurate moves.
Yeah, I know that all too well. As we do see the Bronzong switching back into the Groudon here. Gonna bring the Sun, trying to possibly stop any water type attacks coming from that Kyogre slot there. We do see the Protect coming out from Kyogre, protecting itself from any of Ferrothorn's attacks here. Taunt actually going into the Groudon slot. Going to be stopping that from using Protect this any turn. So we do see Leech Seed coming onto the Thundurus slot there. Going to be able to restore some of Ferrothorn's HP.
Yeah, very good turn there on Mario's end. Gets in Groudon for free, gets taunted. Getting taunted there is not the biggest deal. Well, he can't protect the Groudon this turn, which is big, but the Leech Seed is definitely important. Steven's Thundurus has already burned through its Citrus Berry. The recovery ensures that Steven can't afford to just leave Thundurus out here.
Right.
Thundurus isn't doing a whole lot. Thunderbolt's not going to do much damage to either of these Pokemon. And it can taunt things, it can Thunder Wave them, but it's not really doing much. It has to switch out, and if it wants to switch out, he runs the risk of being targeted and taken out. Like if he were to switch in Ray, a Gyro Ball in that slot would be absolutely devastating because he would lose most of his means of actually taking out Ferrothorn.
Right. We do see both players trying to select their moves here. Ferrothorn in a decent position, I would say.
Yeah, Ferrothorn's in a very good position here. It's not very threatened. Ice Beam going to be doing roughly 25%, 25-30% from the Kyogre generally, depending on the investment. So it's not taking too much. It's getting leftovers recovery each turn, Leech Seed recovery as well.
Yeah, as we do actually see Thundurus switching out of that Leech Seed there. Gonna bring his Aegislash in, as we do also see the Groudon switching out into the Bronzong slot here. Gonna be able to take that Ice Beam pretty well if it goes into it. We do see that. Taking not a whole lot of damage there. Power Whip missing the Kyogre.
Very bad Power Whip miss there. Mario's been on the bad end of all these misses this game. Having Thundurus knocked out right now and having Kyogre knocked out right now would be incredible for him.
Yeah.
But now Aegislash is in here in an excellent position. It's not threatened at all by either Pokemon. If it's carrying Substitute, it can just go for Substitute and probably can't even have it sub broken this turn. So very good positioning of the Aegislash by Steven.
Right, able to get that in basically for free. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely not good for Mario. He needed that Power Whip to hit to be in this game. As you've seen, he has the Ferrothorn, the Bronzong, and his two Primals. Everything on his team is pretty significantly dented besides the Ferrothorn, so he can't afford to be sitting around and letting Aegislash set up sub. Fire off Shadow Balls on his team because Shadow Balls are going to be picking off most of his team at this point.
Right. We do see Kyogre protecting this turn, trying to stall out some more Power Whip attacks here. Aegislash going to go into an attack position, going for Shadow Ball into the Bronzong slot. Going to be able to pick up the first knockout of this match. 13 minutes in here. We do actually see the Leech Seed going on to the Aegislash here. Gonna be able to set up some more HP recovery for that Ferrothorn.
Yeah, that's a good Leech Seed there. Sort of played it too. Either I can get up Trick Room or I can set up a Leech Seed on the Aegislash, depending on what it does. He's still not in a good position here with the Rayquaza in the back, able to pick off Groudon with a E-Speed. I might even be able to pick off the Kyogre at this point with an E-Speed, but definitely with a Dragon Ascent. So Steven's going to be having the speed advantage with that Ray for the rest of this game. So
we do see the Kyogre come back in.
Yeah, the Kyogre coming back in. Knowing that Rayquaza has Overheat as well is not good for Mario at all, because it can definitely just straight up KO the Ferrothorn.
Right.
Mario at this point might just be looking to dodge a Overheat at this point. Hopefully get some return misses for all these power up Stone Edge misses that he's had thus far.
Right. Do you think the timer's gonna play into this match?
I could definitely see Steven playing for a timer win here. A lot of Mario's team is dented, so if he can take out the Kyogre and the Groudon, he can very effectively just timer stall Ferrothorn out.
True.
Ferrothorn here not going to be able to beat the Rayquaza as long as it hits Overheat too. So he's in a good position to just timer stall this win out if he wants to. He doesn't look like that's what he's opting to do though.
But yeah, we do see H-Slash going for King's Shield and a Water Spout onto Mario's side. Not going to be able to pick up any knockouts there. Origin Pulse coming out from Mario there. Gonna see how much damage this can do to Steven's side. Not a whole lot to that Kyogre, but we do see the Power Whip, and it does connect this time, picking up the knockout onto that Kyogre. Critical hit. Not sure if that mattered, but...
Don't believe so.
Yeah.
I think the more incredible thing that was that Mario actually managed to hit a pair of 85% accurate moves.
Yeah.
Something that we've not seen from him in this game.
Yeah.
Very good turn there from Mario. Gets the Kyogre out of there finally. His Kyogre not being taken out by that Water Spout is very crucial. He's still not in a good position though. Steven can still pretty easily timer this out. He sends in Rayquaza here. He's free to go for a Overheat, or he can bring the Thundurus.
Yeah, he does bring in the Thundurus here. What kind of plays could he make with this Thundurus, do you think?
He could try to taunt the Ferrothorn, fire off a Thunderbolt into the Kyogre. Basically, he needs to eliminate all the options for Rayquaza being KO'd by a Protect Gyro Ball play or just doubling into it. Steven's definitely playing ahead. He just needs to make sure that he finds a way to finish out this game without, he's playing more to not lose at this point than he is to win. Especially having timer in his favor with so many of Mario's Pokemon chipped way down.
Yeah, definitely something you want to keep in mind in a best of 3 Premier Challenge event is making sure the timer's on your side.
Yeah, absolutely. The timer here, interesting thing for untethered events, does go to 20 minutes.
Right.
So what we're gonna see here is it looks like we have some timer stalling going on here. The timer's running down. We have about 4 minutes left on the timer now. That'll be about 2 or 3 turns there.
Yeah.
So this game could just be running down to timer at this point.
Yeah, I think we might actually need to call a judge over here. It seems like one of them is taking a lot more time than is allotted.
Yeah, Steven, as we can see on our screen, Steven has had his moves locked in for a good while now.
Yeah, and I actually think it was Mario that was timer stalling that.
Which is really a questionable decision. I don't think Mario's going to be winning on timer anytime soon here.
Yeah, we do see Substitute come out from that Aegislash. Power Whip going into the Thundurus. It avoids once again here. We do see also the Kyogre going down to that Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Interesting that, option for the Power Whip. Gyro Ball does a fine amount to Thundurus. Thundurus is a very fast Pokemon. Ferrothorn's Gyro Ball still is going to do a good amount. Both of them are resisted attacks, but the Gyro Ball is always going to hit.
Right.
I don't know that either of them would have KO'd, but I'm sure having the damage on the function at that point is much better than just missing Power Whip again. He's now missed 4 or 5 attacks at this point in the game.
Quite unfortunate for Mario here. Thundurus and Aegislash up against this Groudon here. Are they going to even be able to touch it before it can fire off attack?
Thundurus here obviously cannot touch it. Aegislash, unless it's carrying a Shadow Snake somewhere, which would be extremely weird given that it has Substitute. The Groudon's going to be able to get off something here. It can get off a Fire Punch onto the Thundurus to try to remove it. We could see him, if he would have hit the Power Up last turn, I wouldn't have been surprised to see a Protect Gyro Ball come out onto the Thundurus to try to take it out. This game's coming right down to the wire. The H slash being behind a sub is very good for Steven's end,
right?
Because the Groudon has to take 2 hits to take it out. Ferrothorn isn't going to be taking it out anytime soon either.
As we do see Steven trying to take this down as much as he can here. Protect coming out from that Thundurus. Going to protect itself from any potential fire move from that Landorus there. Or from the Groudon, rather. He actually opts to protect this turn. 3 protects coming out. Aegislash protecting as well. As we see Ferrothorn just kind of sitting there. He actually fires off a Gyro Ball into the Thundurus slot. Okay.
Yep. Looks like this match at this point could just go straight to timer. So might want to get a judge over. At this point, if it were to go to timer, the first tiebreaker is Pokemon count. So Steven does win on timer here.
So this would be possibly the last turn of this match then?
Yeah, it looks like it based on the 90 seconds on the timer. If they decide to run it down like that. The double protect there. So it depends on if they count it as having to play out the last turn or not. Then it gets interesting because you say if Groudon can get off a double protect here. And you're able to somehow KO the Thundurus. The Ferrothorn having a lot of HP is very beneficial for Mario's end. Protecting the Thundurus last turn was not good for going to timer.
Right.
If he needed to, because he needs to take out the Thundurus at some point here.
We will get a judge over here as soon as this match is over, as it does appear to be going to timer. We do actually see the Groudon missing the protect there, not able to get that double protect. Paralysis going onto the Ferrothorn slot, and the Aegislash opting to go for a Shadow Ball here into that Groudon slot. It's going to be enough to take that out and clinch up the game for Steven here.
Yeah, it looks like if the timer's about to run out in about 1 second, so yeah, the game can now go to timer. Steven does win on timer.
Yeah.
I mean, they could play out the game if they so chose to, but it looks like Steven's raising his hand, getting a judge over, going to call timer on the match, as it has been 20 minutes now.
So Steven taking the game 3-1 here.
Yeah, very good game there.
A war of attrition.
Yeah, absolutely. The misses certainly cost Mario the match there. They would have given him much more of a chance. Missing the first power whip. Could have if he could have positioned himself in such a way to end up winning on timer instead of losing it on it. That could have definitely been the case. But missing on that Thundurus early was very bad because he missed two Stone Edges under winds, which would have KO'd it from that range. So it'll be interesting to see how this game 2 works out and see what adjustments Mario makes.
Yeah, certainly like one miss doesn't always matter, but like 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
4 or 5 misses. Yeah, that adds up against him.
Yeah.
So besides hitting his moves,
yeah.
What do you think Mario could do in this particular
Mario
match?
in this next game needs to lead a little bit better. He swapped out Bronzong immediately and let Kyogre take way too much damage. He needs to get Thundurus out of there early, stop it from spreading Thunderbolts onto Kyogre, spreading Thunder Wave potentially. If he can find a way to get Trick Room going, that's definitely going to play in his favor.
Right.
As well.
So
Zapdos here, not the worst thing either. Steven doesn't have a whole lot of ways to deal a ton of damage to the Zapdos outside of the Kyogre. The Kyogre can go for powerful water type attacks, but obviously if he's carrying Water Spout, which we saw, Water Spout is going to be very, very, very heavily weakened if it has to take a Zapdos Thunderbolt first.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Zapdos coming out this game. I definitely think it's going to play more in his favor than the Bronzong. Bronzong can set up Trick Room, but it's having a very hard time setting up Trick Room, being pressured by Kyogre, Rayquaza Overheat, Thunderous Taunt, Aegislash Shadow Ball. Not just Zapdos here seems like a much better method of speed control and just putting out consistent damage without taking too much back.
So would you expect the Tailwind mode possibly from Zapdos?
I could see it going for Tailwind. I don't even know if he needs to go for the Tailwind though. I think he can afford to just spam Thunderbolt on things.
Okay.
Because he's not going to be taking that much damage in return here.
Yeah, we do actually see Mario, or Steven rather, leading with the Thunderous Rayquaza, and we do see Mario leading with his double Primal. Gonna see which Primal is slower. I believe it was his Kyogre from previous matches.
Yeah. You see here, his character is slower, which is definitely beneficial for him. But the Delta Stream here likely going to make both of those irrelevant.
Right.
Not the lead I really wanted to see on Mario's end. If he sets up Delta Stream, Stone Edge is not going to be doing that much to either Pokemon. It's a 3-hit KO on the Thunder, meaning that you have to actually hit 3 Stone Edges, and Groudon has to stay around long enough to actually hit 3 Stone Edges. Kyogre here, not in a good position. Steven's lead worked out very well last time. I think he definitely needed to sort of counter that a little bit more effectively because Steven wasn't really given a reason to change up leads at all.
Right.
Zapdos here, like I was talking about pregame, would have been a very good lead. Zapdos here, not very threatened by the Thunderous, takes a decent chunk from Thunderbolt, but Zapdos also fires back Thunderbolts.
Not taking much from that Rayquaza either.
Yeah, not taking much from the Ray. Dragon Ascent is obviously an extremely powerful attack, going to do a fair amount of damage to it, but I really would have liked to have seen Zapdos here. I would have liked to have seen Mario change up something.
Right.
Because obviously Game 1 just did not work out for him. I don't know if he's just stuck into the frame of mind that, hey, I just missed all these attacks, so as long as I hit them Game 2, surely I'm going to win.
Powerful Pokemon. Yeah, just bring them out.
Yeah. As long as I hit my attacks and just throw out all my most powerful Pokemon, I can win.
Right.
That's not usually the case. You need to be a little bit more strategic with a match here.
As we do see Mario going significantly past the turn timer, he does finally lock in his move here. Rayquaza opting to Mega Evolve, getting rid of the Primordial Sea, replacing it with its own Delta Stream here. Going to be able to tank some of those Stone Edge and possible Ice Beams from Kyogre. Dragon Ascent going into the slot of Kyogre here? Yes, Kyogre here. As we do see it taking a fair amount of HP off of that Kyogre there. Thunderbolt also going into the Kyogre slot, doubling it and taking it right out. Turn 1 here.
Yeah, not a good turn there from Mario whatsoever. Protecting the Kyogre there probably would have been a good play, switching it out. This is sort of what I was talking about when I said that.
We actually do see the Stone Edge connecting also.
Yeah, this is sort of what I meant when I was saying that it was not a good lead on his end. The Kyogre there was extremely threatened, and he opted just to not do anything about that. Kept it in, didn't protect, just left it very vulnerable to being doubled up and KO'd, and it was doubled up on and was KO'd.
So as far as Mario's back here, we do see the Salamence come in actually for this match.
Yeah.
What do you think of this play?
Salamence is a decent adjustment. It does a little bit more than say the Bronzong would last match. It's not very good though because he doesn't have a way to quickly get rid of Thunderous, which is a very big problem for Salamence. If Salamence is paralyzed, its threat just diminishes a ton. And the Thunderous here, not feeling threatened, it can, like even if Salamence Mega Evolves and protects, it doesn't mind just firing off Thunder Wave into protect because it's not threatened of being KO'd by the Groudon.
Right, not being boosted by that by the Sun.
Yeah,
Fire Punch.
Yeah, not being Sun boosted with Fire Punch, having Stone Edge weakened by Delta Stream. The Rayquaza is now at -1, which does play into his favor a little bit. Dragon Ascent going to be almost a 4-hit KO at this point in the Groudon.
Oh wow!
It was a 3-hit KO last game. Now it's at -1. Groudon's not going to be taking much from Dragon Ascent, and obviously not threatened by the Thunderous whatsoever.
Yeah, as we do see Steven finally locking in his selection here. Gonna see what kind of attacks Thunderous and Rayquaza could go for here. We do actually see Salamence switching out, actually just switching in to bring that Intimidate. Gonna bring his own Ferrothorn here, trying to tank some of Rayquaza's attacks here. Actually opts to protect this turn, as we do see the Thunder Wave coming out onto the Ferrothorn slot here. Gonna be able to paralyze it and possibly prevent it from setting up attacks later. We do also see the Stone Edge going into the protective Rayquaza there.
Yeah, it was a good Stone Edge trying to pick off the Rayquaza here. The Ferrothorn switching is questionable. if he were to miss another Stone Edge, Rayquaza just gets to fire off Overheat, and that's pretty much game over. The Thundurus here is still not super threatened. So Ferrothorn can set up some Leech Seeds, can go for some Gyro Balls. Not going to be doing a ton of damage though. Ferrothorn here, not in a good position. Rayquaza here in a decent spot, but does opt to switch out.
Opts to switch out into his own Aegis Slash here. Gonna tank some possible hits from the Ferrothorn slot. Thundurus and Groudon, the Ferrothorn opting to protect this turn. Fire Punch actually going into the Aegis Slash slot, going to be doing a lot of damage. Actually able to hang in there with 35 HP there.
Yeah, questionable Fire Punch, but ended up working out for him. I'm not sure that Fire Punch KOs there at -1 defense on the Rayquaza, but obviously pays off for him pretty well. Steven read pretty hard into
the Gyro Ball play?
Yeah, into the Stone Edge rather, from the Groudon onto the Rayquaza, which did not happen at all. Ferrothorn got punched right in the face.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get punched by the lizard.
Yeah, punched by
the shrimp, and the shrimp, not the lizard.
The red dinosaur lizard shrimp. Not really sure what Groudon is meant to be exactly, but it's out there looking good. In a pretty good position, still at full health.
Right. We actually see the taunt going onto the Groudon slot there, going to prevent it from protecting here. Stone Edge going into that Thundurus is a one-hit KO at neutral attack here. Substitute coming out from the Aegis Slash there, barely able to set up, only with 4 HP left there. Power Whip going into the Substitute will be enough to break. It doesn't appear to be broken here, so Aegis Slash still under sub.
Yeah, very good sub there. Protecting himself against a possible Leech Seed, knowing that Power Up likely wasn't able to break the sub, and Kyogre coming in here as well. Very good for Steven. Kyogre probably not going to be one-hit KO'd by any Power Whips. And not very threatened by an immense switch-in, because it is a special type attacker, obviously. Ferrothorn here, sort of not doing a ton. Power Up is going to be doing it. It's got a decent threat. Shadow Ball plus Water Spout is going to be doing a very hefty chunk though to Ferrothorn.
Yeah, and we do see both players trying to select their moves now. Ferrothorn in this position, like being paralyzed, like. How do you think that's going to play in?
The process it's not going to factor in too much. It could screw him over if he goes for a Protect, for instance, and gets fully paralyzed.
Right.
The Aegis Slash here is going to be interesting this turn. Whether he wants to protect his Kyogre and then fire off a Shadow Ball. In that case, Mario has to hit Precipice Blades in order to break subs.
Right.
And then be able to KO the Aegis Slash next turn. But the Groudon here is in a good spot where if Steven just opts to go for the Water Spout straight up, Groudon is not going to enjoy that very much.
Yeah. Kyogre threatening water type attacks against this Groudon here. We do see them finally select their moves here, and we do see the switch out of the Groudon into the Salamence of Mario. Gonna bring that Intimidate, gonna drop the attack stat of both of these, or of just the Kyogre actually. Water Spout going into both of Mario's Pokemon, gonna do a decent amount of damage to both. Actually gets a critical hit onto that Ferrothorn slot, gonna do a huge amount of damage to the Ferrothorn.
Yeah, that's an incredible amount of damage from that attack.
Yeah, we'll also see the Shadow Ball into the Salamence switch in, gonna be enough to pick up the KO there. And Mario's going to be forced to bring back that Groudon. As we also see the Gyro Ball going into the Kyogre, not going to be able to do a whole lot there, though.
Not doing a lot of damage there. The Power Whip there, he was likely trying to catch a Rayquaza on the switcher by A, switching his Salamence, and B, going for the Gyro Ball. Does not end up working for him, though. Kyogre just stays in Water Spout. It was relatively free to go for that Water Spout.
Right.
And see here, this is not a good position still. He can switch out the sub to Aegis Slash, get in Rayquaza, and have permanent weather control in this match.
Yeah.
If free to go for a Water Spout or a Scald onto the Groudon and just KO it, and then and then all he has to worry about is the Ferrothorn, which he can obviously stall out with a sub Aegislash.
Yeah. Rayquaza lingering in the back with that possible overheat also.
Yeah, that's something very big. He needs to find a way to KO the Groudon too. It was a pretty smart power whip in retro, or smart gyro ball in retrospect.
Yeah.
Because now, as long as he hits the power whip, it should be in definite range to be KO'd.
Right. We do see the Rayquaza switching in here for that Kyogre. Gonna be holding that into the back. Delta Stream coming out for Steven's side here. Gonna opt to King Shield his Aegislash to get some more leftovers recovery here and survive any possible attacks from that Groudon slot. Groudon opting to go for Precipice Blades here, going to be avoided by Rayquaza and the Aegislash. Ferrothorn opting to hit into the King Shield of Aegislash, going to be dropping its attack stat by 2 stages here.
I think that's going to be game at this point. Dropping its attack stat is now going to allow it to not even be able to KO Kyogre. Definitely not what Mario wanted there. He definitely wanted Aegislash to try and pick up a Shadow Ball KO onto the Ferrothorn. He might be a special defense boosting nature on his Ferrothorn perhaps. That's been picking up traction lately.
Right.
And as you see here, his Ferrothorn does end up getting fully paralyzed too.
We do also see the Dragon Descent coming out for Steven here into the Ferrothorn, which actually is enough to take it out in one hit here. Iron Barb's going to be doing a little bit of damage to the Rayquaza there, as we still see this Groudon out on the field, going to be able to fire off a Fire Punch into the Rayquaza, going to pick up a knockout there, and we get to see what this sub Aegislash is able to do in this current situation.
Likely game though, definitely.
Yeah.
Kyogre comes in pretty likely fast, and the Groudon can fire off a Scald or a Water Spout, and that's just gonna be game.
Yeah, Shadow Ball going into the Groudon slot, gonna be doing a decent amount of damage, and so yeah, no hope for Mario in this situation.
I don't think there's much hope for Mario. It was a much better played game too.
Yeah.
Didn't have as many misses and stuff. Steven's team just matches up extremely well for some Marios.
Yeah.
The Thundurus under Delta Stream, having Stone Edge be a 3-hit KO there instead of the usual 1-hit KO that we see from Stone Edge is absolutely massive.
Yeah. We do actually see Water Spout going to be able to finish off this game for Steven there.
That's the game. Steven does move on to top 4 now.
Yeah. Taking it in decisive 2 games.
Yeah. We've actually seen both games on stream now. Pretty decisive 2-0 wins.
Yeah.
If you don't count
2-1.
Yeah, Evan,
parentheses.
quote-unquote 2-1, sort of brought 3 Pokemon on accident. But yeah, there we go. That is our top 4. We have Steven, we have
Evan.
We have Evan, and we have one of either Alex or Dane, and then one of Brad or John Who. So
okay.
Yep. We'll be coming with you soon with that top 4.
Yeah, we'll be streaming both top 4 matches. I'm gonna go talk to the judges right now to see what kind of updates we have on who made it to top 4. So stick around, guys. We'll be back in a few minutes.